In the dark silence of the night, far from the sounds of marching armies and artillery fire, something else was moving. Silent wings, whirring propellers, and guidance systems locked onto targets hundreds of kilometers away. Within hours, explosions illuminated the Russian sky like fireworks, only these weren't celebrations. They were surgical strikes, precise and devastating. Ukraine had just launched one of its most audacious attacks deep inside enemy territory. This isn't just breaking news, it's a pivotal moment that could reshape the very strategy and narrative of this war. Welcome to U.S. Military Tactics. Today's episode covers what many military analysts are calling a game-changing escalation in Ukraine's asymmetric warfare. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications because events like this are unfolding fast, and what happens next could impact global security, energy markets, and even international diplomacy. Now let's break down exactly what happened, in detail, with clarity, and with context. In the early hours of August 2nd, Ukraine executed a drone operation that would leave not just Russia stunned, but the global intelligence community scrambling to analyze the full scope of what had occurred. At approximately 2:15 a.m. local time, drone squadrons began crossing into Russian airspace in a meticulously coordinated strike. These weren't off-the-shelf quadcopters or improvised battlefield devices. According to military sources, Ukraine deployed a multi-wave drone fleet, possibly exceeding 50 units, incorporating high-endurance fixed-wing models, low-visibility loitering munitions, and long-range FPV drones with encrypted guidance systems. The scale, complexity, and precision of the mission drew comparisons to Israel's preemptive strikes in the Six-Day War or the stealth air raids in Iraq during the Gulf War. But this was different. This was a technologically disadvantaged country leveling the battlefield with innovation. 3 major oil and fuel-related targets were hit, each hundreds of kilometers apart. That alone demonstrates real-time coordination, likely through AI-assisted mission planning tools, satellite positioning systems, and high-fidelity reconnaissance conducted weeks in advance. First target, the Ryazan oil refinery. Located just 180 kilometers southeast of Moscow, Ryazan isn't just another industrial site. It's one of Russia's largest energy assets, supplying both military and civilian fuel needs across the central Russian region. Around 2:27 a.m., locals reported seeing multiple drones descending from the north before a massive explosion lit the sky. High-resolution satellite imagery released the next day showed flames engulfing storage tanks, destroyed distribution pipelines, and smoke plumes stretching 30 kilometers. Emergency responders couldn't even reach the core site for hours due to secondary explosions. Ukrainian sources claim the refinery's output was reduced by 70%, a crippling blow that will take months to fully repair. Second target, Anna Nefteprodukt oil storage facility in Voronezh Oblast. By 3:12 a.m., more drones reached the Anna Nefteprodukt site. This facility plays a crucial role in linking Russia's northern oil networks to the southern railway supply lines used by military convoys. According to Ukrainian intelligence, the depot had recently increased output, suggesting a buildup for a large military push in Donetsk. Video footage captured from dashcams showed drones flying low over highways, avoiding radar by using terrain-based guidance. Explosions rocked the facility, igniting storage silos and halting rail movement for over 24 hours. This strike wasn't just physical sabotage, it disrupted the entire logistical heartbeat of a region critical to Russian battlefield momentum. Third target, Novokuybishevsky refinery in Samara Oblast. This is a mega refinery, processing over 6 million tons of crude annually. Located far deeper into Russia, its targeting signified just how far Ukraine's drone reach has evolved. At approximately 4:04 a.m., eyewitnesses reported strange buzzing sounds followed by fireballs that looked like mini-nuclear blasts. What makes this strike remarkable is that it occurred despite Samara being considered a secure zone, heavily patrolled by air defenses. Ukrainian drones reportedly used drone swarm logic, where decoys drew out defenses while the main strike force remained hidden. The refinery's western wing suffered catastrophic damage and fuel exports through the Volga corridor were halted. Together, these strikes weren't just attacks, they were a strategic crescendo, echoing with precision, timing, and psychological depth. If the Ryazan, Voronezh, and Samara strikes hit Russia's industrial lifeblood, the Sochi strike hit its national ego. Sochi isn't just a city, it's the crown jewel of Russia's domestic propaganda. The city hosted the 2014 Winter Olympics. Its beachfronts, luxury villas, and mega resorts are weekend getaways for the Russian elite. It's also home to multiple government retreats, military hospitals, and discrete communication hubs. So when a Ukrainian drone, possibly launched from the Black Sea, struck an oil depot near Sochi International Airport, it was a symbolic dagger to the heart. The target was a high-capacity fuel storage terminal in the Adler district, used to service civilian airlines and emergency refueling for the southern military district. Around 2:45 a.m., a fireball erupted that was visible from nearly every coastal district. Here's what made it so impactful. Geographic depth. Sochi is over 700 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. This isn't just deep territory. It's sacred propaganda ground. Psychological warfare. For the elite, the political class, and even the general public, Sochi represented comfort, power, and invulnerability. That illusion shattered instantly. Operational message: civilian air traffic was suspended for hours. High-level security meetings were reportedly relocated. Even NATO intelligence acknowledged that Sochi was never supposed to be reachable. Russian civilians took to Telegram to share videos, palm trees silhouetted by flames, families packing luggage, sirens blaring. Some speculate that the attack also targeted underground storage units beneath the depot, possibly linked to strategic reserves. Ukraine didn't just hit a depot, it hit Russia's mask. To understand these attacks, we must understand the doctrine driving them. Ukraine is embracing a 21st century form of warfare that combines Western intelligence, domestic innovation, and a doctrine focused on maximum disruption with minimum exposure. This new approach centers around 5 principles. 1. Systemic crippling. You don't need to defeat the Russian army in full-scale battles, you just need to starve it, cut its fuel, delay its movement, jam its systems. 2. Long-range agility. Ukraine now operates drones capable of traveling 1,000 plus km. These can fly at low altitude, self-correct mid-flight, and carry payloads equivalent to guided missiles. 3. Psychological targeting. Each strike isn't just about physical loss, it's about demoralization, from soldiers on the front line to families in Russian cities. 4. Energy warfare. By disabling refineries, Ukraine not only cripples military logistics but disrupts entire economies. This puts political pressure on the Kremlin internally. 5. Propaganda counterstrike. Each hit erodes the Kremlin's narrative of control and dominance. Every fire, every airport shut down, every refinery blackout chips away at the propaganda wall. This is what military strategists are calling intelligent attrition. Not brute force, but precise, unrelenting bleeding of resources, attention, and morale. Ukraine is proving that modern war is no longer fought with just tanks and missiles. It's fought with data, code, stealth, and the ability to strike exactly where it hurts, at the heart of infrastructure, economy, and psychology. The Kremlin was quick to issue statements. The situation is under control, air defense systems intercepted most threats, and all damaged infrastructure will be repaired swiftly. But on the ground, a different reality unfolded. Emergency broadcasts warned citizens to stay indoors. Local officials scrambled to control fires without sufficient resources. Fuel supplies to key transport routes were disrupted. Independent reporters, often posting anonymously to avoid censorship, leaked images of entire neighborhoods lit by fire. Russian telegram channels exploded with panic and fury. Military bloggers lambasted air defense units. One post read, "If we can't protect Ryazan, how will we protect Moscow?" Air defense batteries were repositioned across cities like Tula, Kursk, and Rostov. Some industrial zones in Moscow reportedly activated underground bunkers for the first time since the Cold War. The government increased censorship. Internet filters began blocking drone footage. But it was too late. The strikes weren't just physical events. They were narrative-shattering moments. The illusion of control evaporated. Let's zoom out and assess what this means, not just for Ukraine and Russia, but for global warfare. These strikes mark a strategic evolution. Ukraine has shown that a nation under siege can still go on the offensive, not by matching force with force, but by becoming unpredictable, smart, and devastatingly precise. These attacks forced Russia to divert attention, troops, and resources to homeland defense, delayed Russian offensives due to logistical bottlenecks, inspired nations worldwide to rethink their own vulnerabilities to low-cost, high-tech warfare, proved that morale, symbols, and perception are as vital as physical land. In a single night, Ukraine reshaped the war, not with overwhelming power but with strategic nerve, technological insight, and bold intent. This is no longer a fight over trenches, it's a fight over the very definition of modern warfare. And Ukraine is rewriting the rules. Ukraine's message is now global. it is not a passive actor in this war. It is a force capable of reshaping the battlefield on its own terms. With limited resources but unlimited resolve, it has turned what once looked like desperation into innovation, and what once felt like retreat into reinvention. Thanks for watching.